Today, I want to talk to you about something very important. So, if you eat a plant based diet, we're going to talk about the number one mistake plant based eaters make and how to fix it. So, what does this mean? Well, when people transition eating a plant based diet, or maybe they've been eating this way for a bit of time, they may notice some things start to happen. Maybe they're fatigued, they're gaining weight. Other things are not making sense, like they're feeling bloated. There could be a variety of things going on here. But the one thing I really want to focus on is the number one mistake people are making. And why would I know this? Well, my name is Dr. Lori Marvis. I'm a board certified family and lifestyle medicine physician who's been practicing medicine for over 2 decades and eating a plant based diet for 13 years myself. And I've seen thousands of people who eat a plant based diet because I am licensed in every single state in the country and DC. So I've literally been seeing patients from across the nation for many years now, and they don't, very few times I'll get they're worried well, but sometimes I get the ones who, well, most of the time they need a little tweaking and then they're off and thriving again. So I'm going to share 3 stories with you that have happened in my time of taking care of plant-based patients, just to highlight some of the things that people don't think about when they transition to a plant-based diet. And the first story, well, I've had a few of these actually, that people will go on a whole food plant-based diet, which is fabulous, of course. They're also salt, oil, and sugar free, which again is fine. But what happens is people don't think about iodine. So when people switch from, a standard American diet, generously salting their foods, which is not healthy, of course, and they go to suddenly a salt, oil, sugar free, whole food plant based diet, if they don't eat, certain foods like nori or some other type of sea vegetable, they're lacking iodine. Now, salt in the United States, typically in other Western countries, has iodized salt, right? And so then people also switch over to, like, let's say sea salt, and there's no iodine in that as well. So now what happens is these individuals will come back and say, hey, I switched to this plant-based diet, I was feeling great, and now my thyroid is messed up. Why is my thyroid low? The thyroid takes iodine and makes thyroid hormone. But how do you check this? Well, sometimes people just order a blood test for iodine. That's not the right test either. You need to do a 24-hour urine iodine collection. Yes, I know it's a pain, but that's what you're going to have to do to see if your levels are low. And I've seen many people whose levels are low. We give them either a supplement, or they focus on the certain foods, or they use a little iodized salt if that's their preference, and they do fine. So that's one case. Second case was when I first went to the plant-based diet years ago. And my patients, I was just saying, go eat plants, right? I was very excited. I was seeing people reverse disease, feeling better, losing weight. So they'd go straight to the produce aisle, which is fantastic because that's where the plants live. But they would forget about the legumes and the whole grains and those type of things that live kind of more in the middle of the grocery store. And they would come back to me saying, man, Dr. Martha, I'm feeling so tired. What's the issue here? Well, we're not eating a balanced plate, right? So people are focusing on these really low calorie, very nutritious foods, but they're not enough calories to sustain someone's energy needs throughout the day. So then they might fall off because they weren't feeling well. Okay. I can go on, all these different things people just don't think about. And I would say I'm going to give you 4 stories actually. There's two. I'm going to give you 2 more because I think I don't want to leave one out. Um, Another case I had where someone who had been vegetarian then vegan for many, many years never supplemented with B12. She occasionally B12 fortified foods. And when she came to me, she had been recommended by someone, was having severe B12 deficiency syndrome symptoms. Like, the moment she started speaking to me and I started asking some questions, I knew exactly what it was. And sure enough, when we checked her B12 levels, it was like 100, even less than 100, if I believe. We ended up having to give her injections of B12, high doses of oral, got her back up. All of her symptoms abated. She felt amazing. And now she just maintains on an oral B12. But that's another recommendation. People understand the importance of making sure you supplement with that one thing. The B12 can have tremendous, tremendous impact if you don't. And the fourth story that I wanted to share was a little outside of the plant-based diet in and of itself, but what can happen when you transition to a plant-based diet is that you get well. And you're like, why is this a problem? Well, if you have a physician or you're unaware of the need to decrease medications, this can be a very serious complication, especially if you are on medications for diabetes or things for like blood pressure. I will give you two well, three stories on how this can be. The first time I realized how incredibly powerful the plant-based diet was years ago. Again, my first year of helping people transition. When I mentioned, go plant-based, they said yes. This person was on insulin for type 2 diabetes. We had to stop 60 units of insulin within 3 days. I did not understand that would happen that quickly. But boy, I learned real quick. And so now I cut, typically, if you're on, depending on how much you're on, how high was your last A1C, it's an art as well as a science. Nobody teaches you how to deprescribe medications. I got my own system and it works pretty well after 13 years of doing that. That's another important piece. Hypertension medication. So if you're on hypertension medications, you may find that you need to decrease your medications very quickly. And in addition, anybody who eats this diet with you who's in the home, make sure that you're making them aware if they're on diabetes medications and such not. So with all that being said, those are the stories and the things that I have seen. So what does this mean exactly? Well, basically people who switch over, they're trying to eat this diet without making sure it's a balanced diet, right? So what's the problem here? So even though the plant-based diets are packed with potential, without proper planning or thinking about it, you can really miss some critical nutrients, which lead to fatigue, cravings, and stalled progress. Number one type of mistakes, people eat too many processed foods these days, right? So plant-based nuggets, vegan cheese, they might be convenient, but they are very unhealthy, right? They have unhealthy additives. They're lacking in nutrients. These are nutrient poor foods. In addition, you're skipping the key nutrients like B12, iron, omega-3s. If people who are afraid to eat nuts and seeds because of the quote unquote fat phobia, is what I call it, they're missing those very valuable plant ALA omega rich foods, right? Those omega-3s from the plants. And then finally, lack of variety. Sometimes people will say, well, I don't eat any beans because I ate beans one time and I felt bloated and I had more gas. Well, that's because your poor microbiome was not used to all that fiber. So you ease into it. But beans are so important, and there's a wide variety of them. They're a great source of protein and wonderful fiber that are so valuable to your health. Sometimes people go, well, I don't eat any grains because of whatever reason. Maybe they want to go gluten free and they think that means all grains. That's not true either. So again, very important that we eat from the variety of those plant foods: fruits, veggies, beans, whole grains, nuts, and seeds, and all the colors of the rainbow. And so I've created handouts and little things that people can make to help keep track of those things. So if you are making those mistakes, if you're tired, you're hungry, and maybe not seeing the results you're hoping for, you might just need a little bit of a closer look. So I did create a plant-based diet audit quiz. That link is below. You can just check it out. It'll ask you some questions. It'll give you some answers. You'll see some videos from me. And based on your answers, exactly what to do, 10 to 12 steps to even improve further. So hope you check it out. Again, that link is below. It's just to kind of pinpoint some problems that might be causing some of the issues, maybe some ideas for you to move on to the next level. So check it out, share it with your friends. It's completely free, and I hope you found that helpful. So thanks again for being here. Hope you found this helpful. Please don't be one of those patients that I see that comes in having problems. But if you are, I'll be absolutely happy to help you. But I'll be back tomorrow with some new and some fun, exciting topic. Hasn't hit me yet what that is. But anyway, have a great day, everyone. Thank you for being here. As always, I'm sending gratitude, joy, love, and peace and healing your way because, boy, we need more of that in this world.